Alright guys, we're going to continue on talking about percentages. Now we're going to use our percent proportion that I showed you in the last video, except now we're solving for the percent, the missing percent, not percentage, okay? Which is why we want to stick with our proportion, because that's actually easier to use than trying to use the formula. So just as a reminder, here's our percent proportion. It's our percentage over our base. And the other day I told you is over of is a good way to remember which number goes where. The way these questions are worded, this one's actually a word problem, but a lot of them just say 10 is what percent of 100. And you'll see a number next to is, you'll see a number next to of, and that also helps give you a clue as to where they're going to go on your proportion. And then it's equal to the percent over 100 because we always write percents over 100 when we're writing them out in their fractional form. So here I'm just giving us a little word problem. If a poll was taken and 3 out of the 6 students owned pets, what percentage of the class has a pet? So here, rather than telling you there's 6 kids and telling you that a certain percentage of the kids have a pet, I'm telling you, well, 3 out of the 6 have a pet. What percent is that? So now we're solving for a different part of our proportion. So we're still setting it up the same way. So 3 of them have pets, that's the number that goes on top, the percentage of the class. 6 is my base or my total number of kids in the class. I'm solving for my percent over here. And then you'll see I just set it up, I did the cross multiplication. We find out that it's 50, and we don't want to forget to write our percent there. 50% of the class then would own a pet if 3 out of 6 of them do. All right? So we'll just do some examples here. So here you'll notice a lot, again, I have of, I have is. This is why I told you the little trick with is over of. Is, the number next to that is 11. Of, the number next to that is 200. I'm solving for my percentage, which always goes, or my percent, which always goes over 100. So again, we're just going to do our cross multiplication. And again, if that confuses you at all, please go back and rewatch the videos so that you can master that skill. Then when I solve for x, I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator here because my brain has decided to stop functioning. Okay, that's not necessarily true. My brain works, I'm just being lazy and I don't want to tax it. And now I find out that I get 5.5 and I don't want to forget to write my percent there, 5.5%. So here, you'll notice I have a number next to is. 0.3 is the number next to is. Of is 0.5. That's why I showed you the little trick with the is and of. Which number goes where? What percent? I don't know the percent, so I'm solving for that, which always goes over 100. So again, we'll do our cross multiplication. Sorry. Told you my brain's a little sluggish right now. Yes, sorry. Then, oh, sorry, I forgot my x. 0.5x. Then if I divide, I find out that my percent is 60%. So my number is 60. Always remember to write my percent sign after it. So again, is and of. I don't even really have to think. If I did that, I could read it and think about it. 125 is what percent of 25? So it's telling me my base is 25. My percentage is 125. I just need to know what percent that makes this. Now what you'll notice is my is number is bigger. That means I'm going to deal with a percent that is over 100. This is going to be greater than 100%. Those are little tricks we can look at to know that we're on the right track. So again, let's do our cross multiplication. And then when I do my division, I find out that it is 500%. All right. So again, over here, is and of. My is 2.5. My of is 2. My is bigger than my of, or my percentage is bigger, so it's going to be a percent that's greater than 100. Right, percent there, right? X, my variable. So again, we'll do our multiplication. And I find out that it is 125%. All right, our last one, 4.6 is what percent of, oh, it's not our last one, there's 2 more, sorry. 4.6 is what percent of 25? So is goes on top, 4.6 is next to is, 25 is next to of. The is smaller, so this should be less than 100%. I keep writing percent instead of a variable. I'm going to write x there. And percent always goes over 100. So cross multiply. And when I do my division, I find out that it is 18.4%. All right, what percent of 10 is 1/5? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1/5, I'm going to change it into its decimal form, mostly because I don't really like dealing with fractions and multiplying with fractions. I find it's easier with decimals. So I'm just going to rewrite it in its equivalent decimal form. So is my 0.2 or 1/5. You can use 1/5 if you like. I just find decimals easier to work with. Of is 10. I want to find out what percent that is. All right. So again, just do my cross multiplication, and x is equal to 20, and I find out that x is equal to 2%. All right, so if you're struggling with this, I encourage you to rewatch your video. Also, don't be afraid to go back and rewatch any of the previous videos to help you with any of the concepts you're struggling with as well. Questions can be posted to the comments, emailed to me, or asked in class. You guys have a great night.